Peace, bro. What's good?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing late. I'm doing
But
late.
it's all good. You made it, bro. You made it, bro.
Man,
Let's talk about the beginning, man, because with you, how did the whole thing start for you?
I was in a crew called the Supreme Force in Long Island, out in Wyandanch, North Babylon area, and I was rocking with those guys for a long time, and then I did a record with them called Come Out Fresh, which was on Nia Atlantic.
Okay.
With the Alim brothers.
Yeah.
And that was through all crew cat from Queens. Queens connected us with a label deal.
Okay.
A single deal. And then the solo part came through when I met Eric B, and that was shortly after. That was shortly before I met Eric, but I went back after as a solo artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you meet Eric B?
Eric was introduced to me by a guy named Alvin Tony.
I know Alvin Tony. He used to be with EPMD all the time.
Alvin said, "Yo, Fox, man, I need to talk to you because there's a dude out here looking for a rapper." He asked me who I thought was the best, and I told him, "Yo, my man Taheem Brothers is nasty. Like, he's the one you should be talking to." So when I met him, he told me he wanted to meet with me, but he didn't want to meet with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
So I kind of was like, I wanted to do what I said I was going to do with them. You know what I mean? And I stuck with the dudes, man, my dudes, and we did it with it. I didn't go back to the meeting. So after that, he met Rakim after that.
Yeah, because that's what Molly told me. It was supposed to be you and Eric B.
Yeah, Eric.
And you would never get what the story Molly told us. Eric was supposed to bring you to the studio.
I don't know how accurate it is to that degree, because the way it was, I didn't know nothing about Molly. I never got a chance to talk about Molly or going to no studio or nothing. I never went to the meeting with Eric. So,
okay.
So when Eric told me I need to talk to you, what time can I get up with you? I think it was in the evening. So I wanted to do it like around 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. And
right.
I just never showed up because I knew after I heard he didn't want to sign or do work with all of us together, I just didn't go because I wanted to stick with my guys. I promised them we was going to do it together.
Right.
And then he's like, okay, well, he ain't come, so who else we got? And then he was like, yo, I'm going to take you over here. And then he introduced him to Rakim.
Right. And then it became
history.
The rest of it is history.
Yeah, so
it might have been Eric B. and Freddy Foxx.
Yeah, I would rather. I'm glad it went the way it did.
It did.
Just gave my motherfucking credit for not showing up.
You get the credit for putting Eric B. and Rakim together, because had you shown up, it was like, yeah.
No, I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
It worked out the way God meant it to.
Hip hop owes me a fucking favor.
For not showing up.
For being loyal to what I wanted to do.
Yeah, for being loyal to the crew. So then after that, man, when did that part of your life with those guys fall apart and you became a solo artist?
Well, you know what? We did a song, a single. I fulfilled my obligation and my promises to them that I was going to work with them till we got to a certain point. We all worked together to get there. And, afterwards, Rakim, reached out to my brother and said, yo, tell your brother I want to talk to him. So, he reached out and I wouldn't talk to him. And then he told me, yo, Eric, we was listening to your joint on the bus. Eric wanted to talk to you about doing some shit, man. So I went and talked to E. Me and E got together. And, the rest, he just told me, yo, come to the studio, man. And I started going to the studio and power play, and what I was doing was I was making my record, and he would say, work until Ra come, Nas tells the story of him working till Rakim showed up, and he never showed up. I was the one who was working till Rakim didn't show up, and then next thing you know, I'm not saying Nas didn't do it, but before Nas, there was, the situation with me doing my album while Ra didn't show up to the studio, and then I ended up making an album in like 30 days.
Okay.
Wow.
And after I made Freddy Foxx Is Here, Eric signed me and another cat to his production company, and that was the beginning of the solo stuff for me.
Oh wow! So they had studio time booked.
Yeah.
And Rakim was just late.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? Ra was doing whatever he was doing.
It's just Rakim. That's how Ra is.
He wasn't there. It was. Wherever he was, whatever he was doing, man, I'm grateful for his tardiness or lateness or whatever. Because, Eric was like, yo, Fox, I got to use the time. So just use it until he come. And I would just work. I keep looking at the clock. So I was always rushing to get the beat made. I was working with Patrick Adams and Chris Conway and all those guys was in there, man, and I was just, but at the same time I was working, I was asking a lot of questions. Yo, what's that knob you pushing right there? What's this? What's that? You know, and I was learning. So just in case, you know, I had to do it myself one day, I would know what it was, you know, which came out to be what it is now. Like that, I'm sound because I knew how to ask the right questions. It wasn't just about going to the studio and making the music, but I did that whole project in like 30 days, man.
Wow. Where did the name Bumpy Knuckles come from?
Little quick story. I got into a little scuffle one day in around in Queens. I was going back to 9-5 where everybody used to hang out at, and this girl said, "Oh my God, look at your hands! You got all these lumps on your hands." She said, I said, "Nah, the lumps is not on my hands. The lumps is on his head." I said, "These are bumps," and she said, "Yeah, Bumpy Knuckles." And then when she said it, I just never changed it. The girl said Bumpy. Both my names, Freddy Foxx and Bumpy Knuckles, I got from some girl saying that.
Where did Freddy Foxx come from?
Same kind of story, but it wasn't a fight though.
Tell the story. We on Sirius XM. You can say whatever you want to say.
Please share.
She said, you know, it was a situation I was humping, and she said, "Oh, Freddie, you a fox," and you know, so she said Freddy Foxx, and
you just ran with it.
I ran with it. I humped with it.
Okay. You've done some really classic stuff that I really like. Two of my favorite joints that you did, one is Hot Potato with Naughty by Nature, which is one of my favorites, and the other one is The Militia with Gangstar. How did that song come about?
Which one, Militia?
The Militia.
Yeah, The Militia was that was dope because when I ran into Premier in the city one day. I was coming from, I think it was one of these labels I was coming from, and I was dressed, and I came out of the building and I saw Premier, and I was like, "Oh shoot, that's dude from Gangstar," and he was like, "Oh shit," he was looking like, "Oh shit, you know me," like, you know, like on some shit like that. Like he was a fan, I was a fan, and then we connected, and I got a call to do Militia after I did, you know, the first call I got from him was to rock on I think it was OC. It might have been OC's. Me and OC did some stuff, but it was when I got the call to do the Militia. Guru called me and said he wanted me on the record, and Premier called me. And I went in to do the record. I came right off the street into the studio, nailed it, and you know, it was like 2 takes.
Yeah,
you know,
super classic joint.
Yeah,
right there,
I love that song, man. It was about, see, a lot of cats get it twisted with those kind of songs from that era we did. It was about me taking the emotion and placing it on the song so I could leave it there. That I don't take action on what I said. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So every time I do that record, I had to revisit that emotion. It was about, you know, that was the same with Pain, and it was the same with all those, whether it was Militia 3, you know, Capture, or any of, all of those songs, man. That when Premier give you music, you gotta really place what needs to be on that song, because he's a music. I see a lot of guys get Primo beats, and they just, the fact that it's a Premier beat is the only thing that gets them on that record, or gets them through that, people playing that record. But when you can spin on a Premier beat and bring to the table what that beat brings to your vocal, then you really can make a record.
You got to be kind of, you got to aggressively attack a Premier beat.
Yeah, for real.
It just ain't like no regular shit.
Yeah, for real.
It's just like,
not everybody can do that. Not everybody can get on a Premier beat.
No, not everybody can get on Premier. And the one with Naughty by Nature.
That's what got me signed to Flavor Unit. You know, being with Naughty, like, and doing Hot Potato. That was like 1993.
Yeah, it was 93.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, that record right there, Tretch. You know, me and Tretch we just clicked. You know what I mean? And I used to go to Jersey and hang out with them all the time, and they became like a family, a second family for me, man. And then when I did Hot Potato, it was originally me, Tretch, and Rascals was on the record.
Okay.
And then Tretch said, "Yo, hold up a second, man." After I put my vocal down, he said, "Yo, hold up a second." And he switched it around and he said, "Me and him got to go back to back on this."
Right.
And then we did it that way. And, you know, I remember performing that record in Jersey at a show, and Shaquem was like, "Yo, I got to sign this dude, man, because, you know, the way I placed myself on stage." And he said, "Yo, the way you knew how to use the stage," and it was like a show, a one-man show, you know what I mean? But when you show up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, when you show up to blow up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.